my multiple choice. Why is the poet William McGonagall famous? And it's this simple. 1, he was a terrible poet. 2, he murdered a more famous poet. 3, he was the barman at the White Horse pub where Dylan Thomas drank away his last few days.
Ooh.
4, it's the real name of poet Walt Whitman. Yeah, William
Wow.
McGonagall. Why is he famous?
The name rings a bell. It
I
really
mean,
does.
is it maybe McGonagall from Harry Potter series? Is there Professor McGonagall?
Is
that
there?
maybe? Yeah. There's a Professor McGonagall.
Okay.
Maybe
I've only
that's what
seen
it
the
is.
first movie. I should really get into it.
Oh no, I don't think Professor McGonagall's in the first movie.
Is it?
I mean, here's how you get hate in your
Quidditch is a
comments.
dumb sport. I'd like to say. I know. I'm sorry if
Ridiculous.
that's blasphemy to people.
Can you imagine if a black rugby ball came on in the last 5 minutes, and if you kicked
And
that
it was
between
about
the
that.
post, yeah, and if
Forget
you kicked
the
that between the
score,
posts,
just
forget the
catch the
school.
black
Yeah.
one. Oh, no. Sorry,
Stupid
that's fucking
sport.
silly.
Stupid sport.
And
No
there's
one
the
cares.
oak whose job it is just to get the black one.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the actual game. Just go get.
Yeah, there's a
I mean-
separate ball, and you have to kick it between the posts. And if you kick it between the posts, it doesn't matter what everybody else has done. Your team wins.
See, this is the problem when a woman comes up with a sport. It's fuck up. I'm sorry. Joking, ladies. Love you all. And no, so I for me it lent toward the last one. I don't think he I think it was Walt Whitman. I don't think it was the barman for Dylan Thomas. I don't think he was what was your first one?
So he was a terrible poet,
No.
or he was murdered by a more he murdered a more famous poet,
Sure, that's hectic.
or he was the barman at the White Horse pub where Dylan Thomas drank away his last few days, or it's the real name of the poet Walt Whitman.
Yeah, I'm actually torn between Terrible Poet and Walt Whitman. And I'm gonna go with he's a terrible poet.
Dramatic twist of
Yes,
okay.
I've
All right,
changed
all right. That's your final answer.
Yes.
All right, you've locked it in.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he's regarded by most academics as being the worst poet to ever be
Really?
published. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he used to write poems about bridges over the Tay River, and he was published for it. I'm going to read you some of his
Oh,
poetry.
please do.
I
I've got a
thought this
passion
is-
for cuck poetry.
Yeah, I thought this would be.
I
I mean, we saw your passion for the Tamati bush.
Well,
but here it is. Here. So there was a disaster. A train was crossing the Tay Bridge, and it collapsed, and 75 people died. And it's important that you remember 75 people died when this happened, because this is a piece of the poem he wrote about this particular incident. 75 people died, Ryan. Firstly, in this poem, he says 90 people died. He was wrong. He couldn't even be bothered to get the facts right. But this is a piece. Oh, ill-fated bridge of the silvery Tay, I now must conclude my lay by telling the world fearlessly without the least dismay that your central girders would not have given away, at least many sensible men do say, had they been supported on each side by buttresses. At least many sensible men confesses, for the stronger we our houses do build, the less chance we have of being killed.
Shame.
Yeah. Published poet. And then they rebuilt this bridge, right? They built it, and he wrote a poem about the rebuilt bridge.
Good Lord.
Beautiful new rail bridge of the silvery Tay, with your strong brick piers and buttresses in so grand array, and your 13 central girders, which seem to my eye strong enough all windy storms to defy. So, I mean, he made a career as a poet, apparently. But yeah, most academics regard him as being the worst poet of all time. And I thought that would be a nice way to end it, except that you already dealt with the Tamati bush, Kak. Like, you already did the worst poem of all time.
Oh, no, that's a beauty. That's a beaut, man.
Yeah, because we don't come on this podcast to tell the people who listen this deep into the podcast that they shouldn't be having sex with a Tamati bush.